Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today, I want to make a video about risk management in crypto. A lot of people get this wrong. And as you guys know, crypto is extremely volatile. We see very big swings towards the upside, towards the downside. And this is why proper risk management is key. Now, I hope you have thought of this before, but do you know what your typical risk to reward ratio is on your trades? Is it 1-to-1? Is it 2-to-1? Is it 3-to-1? Is it higher? And just so you understand why risk management is so important, if you get a 10% loss, you have to gain 11.1% to get back to break even. But as you start getting bigger percentage loss, you actually have to gain a lot more to make your recovery because you have less capital. So anything more than a 20% loss on your account is going to start becoming pretty disastrous. I don't want you guys to think that just because you're using proper risk management and limiting your gains in the short term with your risk reward ratio, that you can't actually pull off huge gains. That is not true. Look at some of the screenshots of some of my previous trades. Now let's talk about the risk reward ratio and the win rate, okay? So with risk reward ratios, right, you can have something like a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, 1-to-4, 1-to-5, right? These are pretty typical risk to reward ratios, okay? A lot of beginner traders will actually focus on trying to get a win to reward ratio of about 1-to-1-to-2, okay? The problem with this is that you're actually making your trading a lot harder by doing this. So most traders are somewhere between a 20 to 40% win rate, which means that if they are at a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, they are literally going to only be losing money. Okay. You have to have at least a 50% win rate to break even, which is quite hard to have. And you'll have to be at a 60% win rate, which very few traders are able to achieve just to be profitable. So you're actually making your trader a lot harder just by doing this. If you move up to a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, which is also known as RR, it'll be better, right? Where a 40% win rate will actually already make you profitable, and a 50% win rate will make you even more profitable. But once again, I said a lot of traders are between 20 to 30%. Really, most of the time, you should be trying to achieve at least a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, okay? This is not possible for every trader because it depends on their own trading style. You'll have to find out your win rate, which most exchanges display for you. If you don't know your win rate, just back calculate it, take your last 10 trades, see how much of them were winning trades. And if you have more data, 20 trades, 30 trades, just backtrack it, right? See how many winning trades you have and do that over the amount of trades that you took in total, right, to get your win rate. So right now, as you can see, with a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, if you're at a 30 or 40% win rate, you will be profitable, which means that, like I said, most traders are between 20 and 40% win rate. At a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, only traders who are at a 20% win rate will be at a loss. 30, 40% and higher will be in profitability, which is very good. Even better, technically, is a 1-to-4 risk reward ratio, where even traders who have a pretty terrible 20% win rate, right, which means you're only winning 1 out of 5 trades, you'll actually be at break even, and anything above that will be profitable. Now, there is a catch once you start going into higher risk reward ratios, and I'm going to explain that in a second. For most people, you'll be wanting to take trades at a 1-to-2 to 1-to-4 risk reward ratio. Okay, anything in this middle range is very good. This is what you want to target. Ideally, if you can, 1-to-3 is probably going to be the best for most people. 1-to-3, 1-to-4. But sometimes 1-to-4 will be a little bit harder to achieve, right? So it depends on your trading style. It depends on what types of trade you're trading, the volatility of the asset you're trading. But somewhere between a 1-to-2 to 1-to-4 risk reward ratio is what you're going to want to target, because that means that most people who are between that 20 and 40% win rate, right, will start to see profitability. And really, guys, you also have to work on your win rate, okay? So try and get that win rate up to at least 30 to 40%, okay? That way, if you have a 1-to-2 or 1-to-3, you will start entering profitability. Now, there is a tool that you can use how to see your risk reward ratio. So here you have long position, short position, right? We're just going to do this in the example of a long position. So I like this area right here where we dipped below the demand zone, right? That was a clear buying opportunity. So let's see if this would have worked out, okay? Let's say you would have entered right on the support area right here, okay? You'd have put your stop at 2%, and you would have targeted a trade basically back towards the upside of the demand zone, right? Well, that was a risk reward ratio, as you can see right in here, of 2, and that trade would have worked out pretty nicely, okay? You might have to extend that stop loss just a little bit. So let's say we had done that and we had put a 5% trade, right? That would have also been a 2 risk ratio, okay? 1 to 2 risk ratio. Could we have even done a little bit better than that? Well, it looks like we could have, right? If we had gone to a risk ratio of 3, right, which is the 1 to 3 that I was talking about, you would have also been able to pull off this profitable trade, guys. And how about 1 to 4? 1 to 4 would have worked out as well. Now, as you can see, though, as you start going higher in your risk reward ratio, the most we could have pulled off here was a risk ratio of 5, okay, which is also actually written in our chart. But anything higher than that, right, we would have had some trouble doing. Unless we had held for longer, maybe gotten lucky. Don't complicate it for yourselves. Keep it between a risk reward ratio of 2, okay, which would have easily been hit. Could have even entered a second trade, or you can kick that up to a risk reward ratio of 4, okay? Somewhere between those two zones will be very good and will get most of you guys into profitability as long as you work on your win rate and get that somewhere between 30 and 40%. 40% is the most ideal because, as you can see here, even with a 1 to 2, you will be profitable with any risk reward ratio that is that or higher, okay? And for those of you who are maybe very good traders or have trading strategies where you may be scalping, taking smaller profits, well, if you're above a 50% win rate, then your trading is going to become quite easy. Even if you're at a 1.2, you will be in pretty substantial profitability. Now, a little bit of hope for some of you traders that have some lower win rates, okay? Just try and kick that up to 30%, increase your risk reward slightly, and you'll be into profitability, okay? So there's hope for every trader out there. If you really see that your trading style is only a 20% win rate, then you will have to target higher risk reward ratios, but that will make your trading also a little bit harder, as I showed before. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget, everybody, make sure to follow the Mastermind Trade Club on Telegram for more trading insights.